Hi everyone, alongside Mike Trossel, I'm Dave Giancola, and thank you for joining us again for History Makers. In 2008, Inbee Park became the youngest U.S. Women's Open champion of all time, setting records. 5 years later, Park was having one of the best seasons in the game's history.
And heading into that 2013 Women's Open in Sabonik, Park had already won the year's first two majors, the ANA Inspiration and the Women's PGA Championship. And at age 24, she was looking to become the first player to win the first three women's majors in a calendar year since Babe Didrikson-Zaharias in 1950.
Yeah, no pressure, I guess. Here's a look back at Inbee Park's run to her fourth major title out on Long Island in 2013.
Welcome to the 68th U.S. Women's Open Championship from spectacular Sabonik Golf Club in Southampton, New York, where history could be made this weekend. Inbee Park has already won the first two majors of this year. She's bidding to join Babe Zaharias in 1950 as the only woman to win the first three majors in a season. And she's off to a great start here at Sabonik. She began play at the 10th hole at 7:40 this morning, had a tap-in birdie, then moved to number 11 with this ticklish putt to save par. And the number one ranked player in the world continued along with very little difficulty at the par 4 14th to get to 2 under par. And she made the turn at -2, then went over to the front side. The first two holes considered among the most difficult here. You wouldn't know it watching Inbee play this morning. One of the most undulating greens you'll ever see at the first hole. Took advantage of the knowledge gained in her practice rounds, used the big slope to the left of the flagstick. She went on to make that. Now to get to 4 under at the long par 4 second. Her only blemish of the day was a bogey at number 6, but she quickly atoned for that at the uphill par 5, 8th hole. First the birdie at number 4. That got her to 5 under. David back at number 6, and now here is that finishing birdie. Relatively short putt at the par 5 that comes back toward the clubhouse. 6 birdies, 1 bogey, an opening 67 for Park. She's the leader at the Women's Open. The number one player in the world, Inbee Park, won off the lead overnight after an opening 67 yesterday, and off to a good start again today. Beautiful second shot into the opening hole. One of the most difficult holes here at Sabonik. And for the second day in a row, Inbee Park rolls in a birdie at number 1. She gave it back with a bogey at the 5th hole. So here's the up-to-date leaderboard. IK Kim in with 69.
And we're going to take a look at Inbee right now from putting off the surface at the 6th for birdie. Coming off bogey at the 5th. Expect the unexpected from her.
It is amazing. That was a very slow putt. She was putting from off the fringe, not like a lot of putts on the golf course that are very quick, and she still had it figured out just right.
Back at the second round of the U.S. Women's Open, Inbee Park 2 shots off the lead as she plays her 3rd at the par 5 8th.
That one was from 74 yards and done very, very nicely with the wind at her back.
Inbee Park now for birdie, trying to get within 1 of the lead, held by IK Kim, who's already completed her second round and is 7 under for the championship.
I'm quite thinking she needs the hole about half the size and it would still go in.
Up and down round so far for Inbee Park. Back to 9.
Inbee from the middle of this fairway.
Ball below her feet, 115 yards, and again the wind will help push it to the right.
Got to move a little bit like Kenny Perry, kind of picks the club up and turns her shoulders late. Never even comes close to getting the club close to parallel.
Never gets it to the top of that mound and repels back towards the front. That'll be a tough 2-putt from there at the 9th.
I would think she learned something in the speed of this putt. Her speed usually is just right, the perfect speed.
You called it, Andy. No, I think a big part of her speed being so consistent is this the strike itself is so consistent. You know, close up, you never see her miss a putt off the center of the club face.
So all she has to think about is the break and the speed.
You know, an old Harvey Penick trick was to rub chalk on your golf ball and put the back of that golf ball when you were practice putting and see where the chalk mark was on the putter blade.
1 under for her front 9 today, 34, and now playing her second at the par 4.
After a good tee shot, playing back up the hill into the wind to 10, 122 yards, playing more like 142.
Tee was moved up some 38 yards today, trying to get the players to use a little strategy off the tee. Tougher hole location.
Strategy right there worked.
There's not much about what she's doing right now that's not working, by the way.
Now the 10th hole. This is the tie for the lead for Inbee Park.
Yeah, she played that second shot so well, using the slope to get the ball down next to the hole. I love the rhythm in this putting stroke. Nothing is ever forced.
She's won the first 2 majors of the year, the world #1 for 11 weeks now, trying to make it 3 straight majors.
If you land the ball in the middle part of the green, that's where the ball will end up. So this is a place you could actually get it fairly close to the hole.
Great camera shot from above there. Terrific golf shot, too.
Right
wow,
shot,
was that good.
Very good.
So another birdie opportunity for Inbee Park. She's missed a couple.
And on the 12th, Inbee Park.
Yeah, hole cut along the right edge of the screen, went into the players, and from the left, elevated tee, always more difficult to hit the proper shot.
More wind today. The hole playing 14 yards longer than it did yesterday. All combining to make this much tougher, but Inbee made it look easy.
Back at the 12th hole now.
And down on this beautiful par 3, Inbee Park, after that great iron shot.
Yeah, this whole location is set up just top of a little teeny knob that it's very difficult to tell which way this is going to go. From this point to the back of the green, it actually goes back toward the end of the green. She has now missed 3 real makeable ones in a row.
We say those are usually automatic, but not today.
Third for Inbee Park, still 1 off the lead.
From 90 yards, and she has been very aggressive carrying the ball all the way to the hole. Almost every shot that she's hit.
Little pull, and the pull always goes a little bit farther.
Should be a little bit quick once it gets to the hole.
Time's a charm for Inbee Park. That's probably the most difficult putt of the last 4 holes that she's had for birdie. That was dead center, and now there are 2 atop the leaderboard. IK Kim and Inbee Park. Now the co-leader, Inbee Park.
With just under 200 yards, if she hits the ball high enough, she might be able to carry it in the left portion of this green and keep it on. Still like coming in lower and bouncing it back there. Another fabulous shot. She has got it going.
But only 5 birdies at 14 today. It's the second toughest hole, playing at 4.5. The only player who won the first 3 majors in 1 year was Babe Zaharias back in 1950.
And is it true there were only 3 majors championships
Yep, she won
that
all
year?
3 of them that year. Well, she's missed a number of opportunities.
That was pretty impressive. I wonder if she really meant to do that.
I was going to say gutsy, lucky, or well thought out. Maybe combination of all three.
Well, no matter what, it looks like that's going to lead to a birdie. Little baby putt. I think she can handle this one, Andy.
You'd like to have this length about 5 times around, wouldn't you?
And that's her 5th birdie on the day to go along with a couple of bogeys. And watched her for 4 or 5 holes there, miss birdie effort after birdie effort, and that one, she could put it with her eyes closed. Yeah, the green is cleared ahead, and Andy North, what is Inbee looking at?
Well, she has 183 yards. She's going to play another 7 or 8 yards up the hill. Just something in the middle of this green I think would be very useful at this point.
It's very difficult to get something up near that whole location.
Andy, does the fog and so on make the air just seem really heavy?
Definitely, and it's gotten a little cooler.
So I think we talked about in commercial, Jane Crafter said it felt a little bit like Torrey Pines late in the day.
You know, I think it's been very interesting watching her attack this golf course today. She has made it much simpler than a lot of the other players. I mean, they're not coming up with 35 ridges and things to talk about. It's just, here's the number, aim it, let's go play.
Let's all have a little movement from left to right. But her superior efforts on these greens are magnified when you have these kind of complex greens. She makes it look so easy because she reads putts so well.
Well, she does not use the new green reading book that so many are using. She said Brad will look at it from time to time, but she pays no attention.
And she's never had an instructor for putting.
Inbee Park at 8 under par, 1 clear of IK Kim, 3 ahead of Ewart Shadoff and Lizette Salas.
164 yards, breeze blowing fairly hard from left to right.
So you're straining a little bit to follow the golf ball. The leg was really flat. It's almost like you're seeing it through a kind of a skewed lens right now.
See the cross-handed style. If you want to talk about history for a second, the first cross-handed putter that I knew in women's golf was Marilyn Smith.
How long ago was that?
I think Marilyn was putting cross-handed for the first time in the early 60s.
I remember for so long that was sort of like the sign that you were having issues.
A little more than a tap in here for Park to retain her 1-stroke lead with 1 hole to go. And we'll watch Inbee Park, our leader, play number 18, the par 5.
You think it goes to 7, Doodle? So that would mean Yanni. Yeah.
We're back at the U.S. Women's Open. The leader is on the tee and in the fog, the par 5 18th.
And that's when you tell your caddy, well, it felt good.
Yes. We're told it's down the middle. And Inbee is going to continue as well. And Andy North is following our leader.
And we all have a thumbs up on these ladies finishing this hole. She can just barely make out the right-hand fairway bunker from where she's hitting. Well, she finished on balance. That's all we know.
But you can be assured that these players on the 18th hole want to finish this round of golf. It means a lot to how they work into the weekend.
And Inbee Park, where you would expect her to be, in the fairway. At least we believe that's her ball.
Another moment you could not resist.
No, couldn't resist. Inbee Park.
That was from 88 yards.
See, Andy, she's so good she doesn't even need to see the
No,
flag.
absolutely not. Put a blindfold on her.
And the reality is now with that putt, not only is she 2 clear of IK Kim, but she's 5 clear of everybody else. So anybody else other than IK Kim is going to have a lot of work to do on the weekend, because it isn't very likely the way Inbee Park's playing that she's going to back up much.
And the fact is, this is going to be a really big test for IK tomorrow.
Well, the one to do it. So Park now with her 3rd shot at the par 5, and with this final group is Roger Maltby. Roger.
Thank you, Dan. Inbee fortunate, flirted with a bunker down here on the right-hand side with her layup. This now from 35 yards, a little pitch, hole cut right in the front. So I don't anticipate any sort of trouble coming up through the fringe here. But not a bad leave, really. She can be aggressive with this putt.
During this domination, this has been the key. Putting.
Even when they don't win, Annika, they look like they're going to. It's amazing. #1 on the LPGA Tour in the putts on greens and regulation stat. #2 in total putting. Total number of putts per round. It's a beautiful stroke.
Beautiful, yeah. And as we all know, I mean, putting is where it is. I would argue right now she's probably one of the best putters in the world.
8 straight pars to start for Inbee. Inbee Park at the 9th.
Wind blowing against the players from left to right. Shadoff and Kim have both hit the fairway already. This is a beauty. A little left to right, center of the fairway.
Fairway does slope pretty severely for players left to right. You can see the ball rolling to the right.
And Inbee Park with her 2nd.
This from 114. Beautiful slow rhythm. This too, a pretty good looking shot. Nice.
Top quality goal from Inbee Park and IK Kim here tonight.
Yeah, the good friends doing a little show-upmanship there.
Be the first birdie of the day for Inbee Park.
Putting stroke very similar to her golf swing, slow and very rhythmical.
Plenty of golf still to be played in this 3rd round at the Sebonack Golf Club.
But she's figured it out.
She has figured it out. She said that because she missed so many greens, she had to work on her short game, so she improved. So, but now she seems to have all parts of the game figured out.
Well, it's an interesting swing. Kind of lifts the club up toward the top. Not much turn of her body. It's considerably uphill, right, Raj?
It is considerably uphill, and she's driven the ball on an upslope here on the right-hand side, which is really going to make her hit it even higher into the air and harder to keep down out of the wind. So this is going to play long.
Go.
She was trying to take it up the right side, utilize the slope in the green.
Yeah, looks to be a pretty solid shot.
Just about full high.
I've been very impressed with her speed all week.
How about that speed?
That's 3 of those I've seen her have already. I mean, you just don't know how they miss.
Everyone looks like they're going in, doesn't it, Raj?
Yeah, you don't know how they miss.
And out to the par 4 11th. There's a great look at the coast and that 3/4 of a mile stretch of beach or so, which is out there.
I mentioned Tom Doak, responsible for the routing of the golf course, where the holes go, and managed to capture water views on 13 of the 18 holes.
He just did an incredible job.
Well, Inbee Park now 176 left of the hole, but this shot is totally blind. Has to play across the bunker, a mound, and some trees immediately ahead of her, so she can't see any part of the green. All she can see is the horizon. This launched up and going right. Well right.
I would think that would be her miss most of the time, Annika, when she does miss, because she hasn't turned back and just lifts the club up, comes down, and is a little too steep.
Well, the first report on Inbee Park's ball went the bunker, but as you can see, behind the bunker and now pitching up for her 3rd, and that one is going to come back down the slope.
That was not a very good shot. I mean, that playing up that slope, you could have afforded to be a lot more aggressive than that.
called it earlier, Annika, surrounding her in the quest for 3 straight majors. She's been able to stay focused, but this will try to avoid her first dropped shot of the day. So the first bogey for Inbee Park. She will come back to 9 under. Long time, to be born in South Korea in 1988. So she was about 10 years old when she saw Se-Ri Pak win that U.S. Women's Open at Black Wolf Run. And IK Kim was also the same age, so no wonder all of these South Koreans came over here so inspired to follow in the footsteps of the great champion Se-Ri Pak. Back to 12.
And Inbee Park.
6-iron as well for Inbee. This ball 2 going at the very right of the green.
That's 2 iron shots in a row now that we've seen that miss. So something to keep an eye on.
It's okay to pick up the club in a bunker when you have a steep lip like this, so this wouldn't be a problem for Inbee.
Well, you want to come in to the ball a little more steeply in the sand because you want the club to go down into the sand. That was heavy. That was
very good there. That's going to continue to work a little right. Watch, it's caught that slope now. That's going to go off.
Very fortunate if that rolls another foot. That ball would roll all the way down some 15 yards off the green.
I'm surprised to stop there.
Inbee rarely shows emotion, but talking to her earlier this year, she says, I'm nervous, I'm excited, I feel the emotions of everybody else. I just don't show them. For the round. It's just a 3-shot lead between Park and Jodi Ewart-Chaddock. There's the card. Back-to-back bogeys, 11 and 12. IK Kim was 3 of 3 for sand saves yesterday. 1 of 2 today. A good 3 there at number 12. So IK 4 shots back.
217 front, 223 hole.
And that just gets over the heavy fescue and water.
Now we'll leave a very awkward little pitch over that bunker.
At birdie at the par 5 13th.
Trying to get back to just where you feel comfortable again. And I was surprised that she went for the screen here.
She's going to have to play this way to the left, I think, and try to utilize the slope.
But it didn't make it. It's coming back in that bunker. Bad
you also,
mistake
Annika, said that sometimes when you have a big lead, it's a little easier to maybe get a little complacent.
It's very easy. Yeah, I've been in that situation. You think you have a nice little buffer and you're just kind of cruising along, and all of a sudden, you know, a mistake creeps up here and another mistake creeps up there, and all of a sudden the gap is getting, you know, narrow and narrow. So right now, I mean, she needs to just calm herself down. And
doesn't seem to be taking a whole lot of time here, Raj.
No, I'm a little surprised at that. I would think she would try to kind of gather herself a little bit. Doesn't have a lot of green here to work with.
And so that's the 4th. Danger of 3 straight bogeys is Inbee Park. So over at 13, this putt for par to avoid 3 straight bogeys. is officially out of sync here. Just so seemingly in control, and all of a sudden, you know you're going to have those patches in an Open, in a USGA championship. It's how you handle them.
A little surprised that NB Park is not using a driver, because nowhere near the length off the tee that Gordon Shatoff has.
Yeah, this is very surprising. Maybe she's feeling a little heat and really wants to just calm herself down and not be too aggressive, but this is going to leave a really long second shot into this tough green. Well, the tempo hasn't changed.
No, it really hasn't. That ball actually chasing and running out there perhaps a little farther than we thought it might, so not too bad.
Back at 14 for NB.
It's now from 182. Wind not gusting quite as hard as it was just a moment ago. She too trying to chase this one up.
Stop down. It's up on top.
That can't be fun.
No.
I mean, this thing comes off this ledge and it is straight downhill from that point. I mean, it is so steep. The ball's going to pick up a lot of speed. The only saving grace she's got going really for her right now is it's dead into the wind, which I think is going to slow the ball up a little more quickly than it otherwise would.
Angela Stanford was able to handle it from way back, from a much longer distance. Is she gonna make it?
Well, that's one way to kind of get things turned around.
So much for the so-called impossible challenge at 14. NB Park off 3 straight bogeys with an electric birdie 3 at 14.
This thing was motoring. Caught the back of the hole, though. I mean, if this doesn't go right in the middle, it would have been by a pretty good distance.
Yeah, at the end of the day, whatever she ends up shooting, if she's still out there in front or right around the lead, I'll tell you, this 14th will be the highlight. 3 straight drop shots to roll that in.
She will remember that putt, and that could be something that's going to turn her around again. That was an incredible 3 on that tough par 4.
All right, you were Shatoff to match.
This one will move a little to her left, and by comparison, certainly far simpler putt.
Wow, there's 2 threes. Do we hear 3 threes? That would be just about as remarkable as anything we've seen in a single hole this week. Upper ledge to make it even more impressive.
You can see her pre-shot routine is very consistent. She doesn't take a lot of time, pick a target, and then executes.
Not too many players this week that come off birdie at 14 and then are last on the next tee to play.
This one going down the left. I don't know if it hung on or not.
That's just fine.
Sorry about that.
Precision.
Back to 15.
Second shot for NB Park.
Well, and this 357 left to the hole, so just trying to get the ball in the fairway and in position for her third. It's going up the right side a little bit. I would think that would be okay.
Looks pretty good from here, Roger. NB Park.
That was from 112. Left of the hole as well.
Oh, needs to come down a bit. Back-to-back birdies for NB Park, and just when she looked like it was going to slip away,
She puts her foot on the accelerator. Inbee Park. This one looks like it's going down the left. Should be okay. Only had 2 birdies today on the 16th hole.
You can help but think, Tom, that's a function of that hole location. It is really tough to get close to.
I've certainly been very impressed with what I've seen. It looks like this golf course has been here for years and years and years. Annika, have you ever seen a golf course that is this new but looks this old, if you like?
No, I love the old look, and we said it earlier, it's rugged, but it's very manicured. And the views obviously are outstanding.
It's not really a typical US Women's Open venue, is it?
No, it's not. We're seeing fairways are very wide and giving a lot of options for the players, and also the way they set up the course. A lot of tee options, but it's the greens that they are the tricky ones. They're very undulated and, you know, causing some issues for some of the players.
And let's go up to 18.
And see if Lexi Thompson can make this birdie putt. Just her second on the day. Lexi came into the day at even par. A chance to get in at +4.
See if she keeps her head still on it. I think she has a tendency to kind of come up and out just a little bit. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Like when I played with her, she was left-hand low. Now she's regular.
Well, that's a sign of somebody who's struggling a little bit with their putting, that's for sure, trying to find the magic.
Well, earlier, Annika, we saw your hole out at the Women's Open back in 2008, and one of your fellow Swedes here, Caroline Westrup, 27-year-old, finishing up in style at the 9th, the par 4. Just a 337-yard hole today. In her first U.S. Women's Open. Nice way to finish your Saturday.
That is nice. What a great feeling, and certainly what a good shot. And nice to see that of my countrywoman.
Second shot. You can see uphill, 36 feet uphill to the green at 16.
And this shot, ball below her feet. Wind from the right, maybe helping a little bit, 173 yards.
Just needs to chase up.
It's not going to. This is an awkward little pitch right here. Chipping up, I don't believe she can land this ball on the green.
Birdie par.
Right, you don't want to be long. There's a bunker back there, and here Inbee's chosen to be in the middle. But you know, she's pretty straight ball striker. She's probably going to use the wind to help her a little bit.
She's got 6 iron out. This ball hit pretty solid and on a really good line.
A good smart shot. Eliminating going over the green.
Whistling off the water.
She didn't continue the stroke very well. It's one of the few that was a little tentative.
Mentioned that U.S. Open win in 2008 at the age of 19 to become the youngest winner ever. But here's the catch. Didn't win again for 4 years. Went through a slump and ended up fixing her swing. The other guy dismissed at about the 9th or 10th hole, somewhere in there. Now on the tee at 18 is the leader by 4.
It's really kind of a flat trajectory drive going down the left-hand side.
Yeah, man.
Good shape.
Yeah, it's been a while. She now has 236 to the hole, 225 to the front.
This is an aggressive play for a leader going into the green on 2 on 18.
Just sneak into the bunker, but if it gets up in the front part of the bunker, it shouldn't be that difficult a shot. Just lob it out, land it on the downslope, let it release to the hole. It's interesting. He doesn't seem to play the shot with the club face very open. It's a fairly square club face, which to me is going to make the ball come out a little lower.
NB ranks 3rd in sand saves for the year. We'll have that for birdie. And the only under par round of the day.
Let's take a look at that again. You can see she's very steep. Lower body very still, keeping the angle. You can see how the club face is open. And that's really the key to a bunker shot, really not releasing your wrist. You see the soft, high ball flight she's got. Stopping the club, that's the key to hitting it soft like she just did.
Both came up short.
Maybe she's due some major magic.
She seems more comfortable with the longer ones than the shorter.
Putt. Easy tap in birdie for that KK. Very well played. Par 5 18th. So in with a +1 round of 73. For the moment, 3 back. Straight majors, going 3 for 3.
Only player to shoot under par the entire day. That's a nice thing. You start with the lead and you're the only player to shoot under par. It's pretty impressive.
Inbee Park, an impressive day. There was a time during the round where you looked like you were beginning to slip. What was happening around the 11th to 12th hole?
Just in a couple of shots that I didn't want to hit it too, but just missed it in the wrong spots. And I mean, I think 10 and actually number 11 and 12 wasn't that bad of a bogey, but number 13 was a little bit disappointing bogey. But after that, I got back to the course and start hitting some good shots and start making some putts. So I'm just very glad that I finished under par today. It was playing very tough out there today.
Well done. The only round under par. Big day tomorrow. Inbee, thanks for talking to us. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Dan. They're coming too fast now, but I appreciate it. This par 5, 482 yards, plays uphill, dog legs right slightly, but the wind helping, and from the left, making it certainly reachable with a good tee shot.
He's being moved up to try to bring that bunker you see in the center of the fairway into play. So players will challenge that.
And Inbee Park ready to go now, Roger.
Well, she's got a wood out, has 242 to the hole, 222 to the front edge. I thought she might give it a go, but I can't imagine she's trying that with players on the green.
Go.
Right up in front of that bunker. Not sure exactly where it ended up.
But I think the downhill lie, if hit properly, will help her run the ball a bit back toward the hole, get it up over that ridge. Yeah, nicely done. The lie worked to her advantage there.
Interestingly, Annika, she was saying this left-hand low grip, she started it when she was 10 years old, when she first started golf. The coach that she had back in South Korea said, try this grip. She said she felt good, and she's stuck with it ever since.
Rare miss from that distance. So after all of that, they both make par 5s when it looked like Inbee might really increase the lead. But it stays at 4 for the moment.
Out at the 9th. It's Inbee Park with the tee shot.
Straightaway tee shot here, Tom, but the wind blowing left to right, fairway sloping left to right.
All right.
Going up the left center, cutting a little bit toward the center. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now Inbee Park, Roger, looks like the ball is slightly below her feet as well.
It is just slightly, but it's on a downhill slope. She has 93 yards. I would think that it's going to come out low. It's a piercing trajectory. Oh, that is really nicely done. Landed it perfectly on top of that wall.
So Inbee Park with a good chance for a birdie at the 9th. What a week so far. What a year so far for the world #1. A 4-shot lead, trying to make it 5. Two drop shots and 1 birdie, and Inbee Park has a 5-shot lead.
So here is Inbee Park off the tee at the par 4 10th, leader by 5.
Big wide fairway that slopes from players right to left. Just want to avoid that bunker down the right side.
You do, but the best angle into this whole location is being on the right side. So.
Gave her the read. 4th birdie of the day for Jessica Korda.
Inbee's ball is coming to rest in the bottom of a little valley here, so really a very level lie. 158 left. One going left to right. Maybe a little bit of hurt in it as well. Oh, this is really a low trajectory bullet at the right side of the green.
Beautiful play. The way you utilize the slope to the right.
Inbee Park continuing to apply the pressure. And there is some pressure. They all want to be a part of this historic occasion. If Inbee Park is able to indeed get it done, this for birdie would certainly be another big direction that way. Mom and Dad love it, and Inbee Park is just still on that cruise control. Not much emotion shown here. Not too high, never too low.
And Annika, I would think there has to be something about that comfort level of you being your normal self that allows her to play well on a regular basis.
Absolutely. You got to be comfortable in your own skin, and you got to do it your way.
Yeah, Brad Beecher, her caddy, had that frank, candid talked to her about it last night. She said, yeah, he sat me down. We talked about that. Gary, she's not a gym rat. Now, Inbee, Roger.
And 177 left to the hole for Inbee. Wind against from the left. Oh, that's a solid shot, but will it hold? That's a little unlucky there.
That went down in some deep rough.
The kind of momentum you would like them to. Easy to come up short, let's put it that way. Well, she made pretty good contact, and that's going to get on past. Whoa.
So Inbee will be away for her par.
When she misses, she catches the edge or just goes over the edge on the high side. It's really been very impressive.
So another one made. So a beautiful save there for Inbee. Remains at 10 under.
She's pulled 9-iron here. Wind at a bit of a lull at the moment. Still moving left to right, but certainly not as hard as it was blowing just a few minutes ago.
Certainly eliminating going over the green with this club. At this point in the proceedings, that's about the only place you don't want to be is long. So good smart shot in front of the green.
But to be careful with the speed.
This is just one of the most dominant stretches of golf we have ever seen. And in fact, it is coming with its history on the line today. And the lead, what it is, it reminds you of what Tiger Woods has done.
solid tee shot right in the center of the fairway.
You know, so much is said about her putting and her driving, but you know, I like to point out that her mental state is very strong.
I think this is up. Well played.
Exactly what he said, just left of the hole. Helps when your player can hit the shots that the caddy wants.
And that just opened the floodgates for these Koreans to come over here and make their way on the LPGA Tour here in the States for birdie at 13.
How does that miss?
It's almost uncanny. I mean, every putt she hits looks like it's going in the hole to me.
Inbee was telling me last night, Roger, that she remembers Se-Ri Park taking her shoes off and hitting that shot out of the hazard. Remember that was played, she said, thousands of times throughout her country. The par 4 today, 433 yards.
Shot is blind, and the players use that target bunker you can see in the middle of the fairway there to try to figure out where they're going to go. Easiest fairway on the entire golf course to hit so far this week. Over 92% of the drive. So
that left her in a playoff with Sun Young Yu, and Kim lost after you used birdie on the first extra hole. So I guess until you finally get that first major, that's the first step, right, of putting that in your past officially.
this is going to get all the way through the green, and there's some very long rough just behind the 14th green, but still appeared to be a very well struck shot.
She's going to have to fly this ball further onto the green, and actually from here it's kind of uphill to the hole. Green slopes in from the right-hand side, so she's pitching it up against that, and that's what happens, comes up short. That was not the thickness of the rough in that particular case, it was just the direction the grass was growing.
It's a good-looking putt.
When they miss, I'm shocked.
You still hit the hole every time.
That's right.
Every time.
So that's a bogey for Inbee. Just her third of the day. 6 and 7 she bogeyed. Drops to 9 under.
Has second to play. IK Kim has already driven the ball in the fairway.
The line is left of the bunker.
Wow. This one going down the left-hand side.
Is it going to stay on the fairway? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, running up against the first cut. This was a layup hole, no way to reach the green.
Park at 15 now.
Yeah, it gets tougher with age. You want it more.
Squibbed a little right, headed for the rough. And behind some trees.
Yeah, that is not a good position there, Roger.
Or limit the damage to bogey, but you don't want to be making more than that.
Okay. Taking the medicine.
Just trying too hard.
Paula Creamer trying to save par at the 16th. Has been the club that has let her down somewhat over the last 3 years. She's really battled with the putter.
Solid strike on the right of the hole.
Exactly what she needed, Roger. Still a chance to save par. Yesterday she had a bit of a wobble, 11, 12 and 13 she dropped shots. Today bogeying 14 and 15. Annika, are you surprised that she went with the fairway metal on the second shot?
Well, it's always easy to have a comment afterwards, but yeah, I mean, she's in a position she doesn't have to be aggressive. Just lay it up there nicely, had a 8 or 9 iron into the hole, and
4-shot lead, 3 holes to play. Inbee Park not going with driver here, Roger.
I like this play. Take that bunker out of play. She does have the length to reach it with driver. And she's spinning a hook up the left-hand side. Should kick right. That'll be fine.
And her birdie try. And gets it to +1 with her 3rd birdie of the day. One of only 2 players without a 3-putt for the week. She's got the putter going this week.
Good job, it's only a 4-round tournament. She's doing more bogeys every day. So that's what you can do here. Second shot.
That's from 196, ball below her feet. Going to help her cut it a little bit. Should. Which would be the ideal shot shape coming in here. Well, this hit pretty solid too.
Jump.
Just a soft top. I think that's going to turn out very
That's a terrific shot. That's knowing your distances and that's knowing the golf course.
She's so good with that club. You expect her to make everything. Disappointed when it doesn't go in. Safe par for Inbee Park. 2 holes to play.
She's got such a slow, deliberate backswing that I guess she can stop it on point.
I just thought it was easier to stop it when you're going back than when you're starting down. And I've seen Tiger Woods stop it about halfway down before. That's a good smart shot by you. Just put the ball in the center of the green, take all the trouble out of play.
Another green hit, another step closer. When they miss, they don't miss by much. They've got great speed, decent line, and there just hasn't been too much stress on the greens at all. Angela Stanford now for birdie at 18, playing with Creamer. Can she finally get one to go here after 9 straight pars? So her chase on this championship continues. There have been a lot of South Koreans who've had success, but there's also been a lot of Koreans out here who have had fleeting success. In other words, the pressure from back home becomes immense, and that's exactly what happened to Inbee Park when she was 19 years old when she won that first Women's Open. And I think even some of the other Korean players are envious of where she is in her life. Her fiance happens to be her golf instructor out here.
Right down the center. Beautiful.
That was a smart play with, you know, leaving the driver in the bag.
Well, Roger, her second Inbee Park here at 18.
Yeah, 274 to the hole, but I can't believe this is an attempt to knock the ball on the green. I would be surprised that that would play up ahead. I would think this is going to be an effort to get the ball down in front of the green.
No worries.
No worries, just a layup. Okay. I was far enough ahead, I couldn't tell if that Whitehead was a fairway wood or a hybrid.
It was
obviously
a
a hybrid.
It was, Raj.
This week when Inbee Park has done what she has done. In 1953, he didn't play in the PGA because of a scheduling conflict. He was in Scotland to practice and qualify for the British. So how about that little piece of history? In the same season, we want to qualify that in the same season, having a chance to win 4 straight professionals. NB Park has an historic 3 for 3 to start off 2013 with her second U.S. Women's Open title. And there's Nadia Choi, last year's champion, out there to congratulate her. And you know there's going to be an embrace with mom and dad who have not had the opportunity to see a lot of wins in person by their 24-year-old daughter. Here's the champion from 2011. A tight-knit group. They're proud of what they've done.
And second is the U.S. Women's Open Trophy, the time-honored emblem of America's national championship. MB, congratulations on your victory.
MB, if I could just have a word. You look so calm all day. Please tell me you weren't that calm with everything that was on the line.
Believe it or not, I was very calm out there. It was weird, I didn't feel that much of a pressure when I was on the golf course. I was very nervous last night. I know, what I was playing for. I was just, very nervous yesterday. But on the golf course, and somehow I just felt very calm out there. And yeah, played very good today. Missed, a couple of, putts, but I think it was enough. I played very good. I think I'm just very honored to put my name to somebody like Babe Zaharias. I think it's such a big honor. And yeah, I'd like to thank all the people who came out here to watch, and the Sabina Golf Club and USGA for the great event. Thank you.
Well, NB, who are the people that have helped you the most to get to this point?
I don't think I can leave anybody out. I think everybody, from my parents to my fiance to my mentor coach, swing coach, all the families and friends, all the fans, LPGA, USGA, who can I leave out? Everybody's been very helpful to me, and yeah, this is a very great moment. I don't know what I just did today. There's something very great, but it's scary to think what I'm capable of doing.
Do you dare to think about what you could do? The next major championship is at St. Andrews, and it could be the Grand Slam.
Yeah, don't tell me about it. You keep trying to put too much pressure on me. I'm just gonna, play my best. Just like I did this week. Yeah.
You seem to handle that pressure very well. Now, I do have to ask you about your father. He has never seen you win a major championship in person, but he's here this week. What does that mean to you?
I think it's always good to, share this kind of moment with my dad and my family. I think it just means the most to me. They are the people, they mean the most to me, and they're here with me in the great moment of history. Yeah, I'm just very glad that I can show them this kind of golf tournament and this kind of moment to them. I'm sure they're very proud of me.
Well, enjoy it this evening. You are the U.S. Women's Open champion. Well done, NB Park. Dan, let's head back up to you.